Who is that with the 50 gifted? Oh, it's your boy Mystical again. Hey, W's in chat for Mystical. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted, bro. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Mystical, for the 20 gifted. Thanks, bro. Really appreciate it. Yeah, W's in chat for Mystical. Mystical, thank you for the 10. Much appreciated, man. And thank you, Mystical, again for the 10. Are you guys doing like you guys are doing a bidding war meme, aren't you? You're trying to like one-up each other. It's like a bunch of like oil barons like fighting for my attention. Thank you again, Mystical, for the 20 gifted. Okay. Wait, did Mystical do another 20? Okay. What is happening? He's gave another 50! He's gave another 50! Have I found like the infinite money glitch? What is happening? Another one! Another one! Oh my god. That is wild, man. Mystical. 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 W's in chat for Mystical. Dude, I felt like Pokemon for a second there. Jesus. YouTube at the minute has a huge exploitative problem, and this is scamming loads and loads of creators, including YouTube themselves. But also, that being said, that is an exploit that you guys at the minute can take full advantage of, basically paying literally nothing to get all the perks of premium YouTube. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about something that could jeopardize my livelihood and the livelihood of every other YouTuber? Well, I woke up this morning and I had two choices. Do I go and tell YouTube this problem, or do I make a video about it and get loads of money? And I chose the second one. So at the minute, as you know, YouTube has YouTube Premium, where you can pay to basically never see an ad ever again. And there's a bunch of other smaller features as well, like being able to play YouTube videos when you close the app. And also there's channel memberships. A lot of YouTube channels, you might see the little button to join. That's basically the equivalent of a Twitch sub. In my country, the UK, you pay around £5 a month to get a bunch of perks. Those perks being customized by the YouTuber themselves. It could be things like, you know, just a private Discord server, access to members only videos, which is something that's very popular right now. I know that Critical and Ludwig both have that set up on their channel. So if you become a member, you'll actually be able to access videos that you would never be able to access normally, kind of like behind the scenes content, more of kind of a, you know, special boys club thing. And most people don't join memberships because it can be quite expensive. It's around £5 a month in the UK reoccurring. But there is a huge exploit to basically get premium and get memberships for basically nothing, like around 10% of that cost. So yesterday when I was streaming, and for the past couple of days to be fair, there has been someone in my chat called Mystical, and Mystical was a very generous boy. He gifted me loads and loads of subs. Now, if you go onto the YouTube gifting tab, you can gift subs to people. This ranges anywhere from 1 gifted sub being the minimum, all the way up to 50 gifted subs. Now in the UK, 50 gifted subs is £250. Converting that to USD, because most of you watching this are American, that is $320. So that is an insane amount of money. You can't ever go higher than 50 gifted at the minute. That is the max amount. And obviously seeing this guy Mystical give like, you know, I have a lot of people that join my streams, like regulars, and they'll give like 150 gifted for like the entire stream. And that's still incredibly generous of them. But this Mystical guy, he was giving like a 50 gifted every like 5 minutes or so. And I thought, okay, so two things have happened here. First of all, you could be some kind of like Saudi oil prince, or one of these people that spends like, you know, thousands of dollars buying Valorant skins in a chance to play with Pokemon.
Excuse me?
Or, more than likely, second option, you're a scammer. And then after Mystical started gifting so many subs, other people started joining in as well. It was basically a bidding war for my attention. I felt like any female streamer ever. It was a great experience. You know, I love having rich people fight for my attention. Anytime someone would give 5 subs, someone else would give 10. You know, it was beneficial because I got the money to fund my commissions, and as well, chat was getting membership roles, so they'd be able to get access to exclusive perks like roles on the Discord server and access to videos that I wouldn't upload publicly. Hello. I'm gonna start the stream soon. I can't start it right now because I put Tabasco scorpion sauce on my food and my insides hurt. My stomach hurt. Thank you, Neo Blitzer, for the 23 months. And who is that with the 50 gifted? Oh, it's your boy Mystical again. Hey, W's in chat for Mystical. Thank you so much for the 50 gifted, bro. Thank you so much. Like, you are such a regular gifter, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hang on, let me say this first, sorry. Mystical, thank you for the 10. Much appreciated, man. Thank you, One Only Kiha for the 5. And thank you, Mystical, again for the 10. Are you guys doing like you guys are doing a bidding war meme, aren't you? You're trying to like one-up each other. Trying to one-up each other. I feel like I'm in a Finster stream right now. It's like a bunch of like oil barons like fighting for my attention. Yeah, thank you for the gifted though, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you, Mystical, for the 20. And Kiha for the 5. I also want to point out this Mystical guy who's gifting an insane amount of subs, like I said already, was doing this in previous streams as well, to the point that he got my attention that I thought he was giving me basically thousands and thousands of dollars. He wanted me to stop what I was doing on stream and play Type Racer with him, basically saying that if I beat him in a game, he'd give me like 200 subs or something. But of course, all good things must come to an end, and I did slowly start to realize this guy is gifting way too many subs too quickly. Like, I get it. Like, you have some like Saudi oil prince billionaires out there. I get that. Some people just have insane amounts of money. I mean, you know the whole concept of whales that just they slurp up everything in like an item shop, like Six Siege, Valorant, Fortnite, and they basically make up like 90% of any game's economy. But you know what the straw was that broke the camel's back? Me mentioning AFK Journey. Now, I know you just hearing that word has triggered some kind of PTSD. You're ready to skip into a deeper part of the video thinking I'm about to say, this video is sponsored by, but it's not. Don't worry. I know it's like an MK Ultra thing. As soon as you hear like a certain trigger word for a sponsor, you're ready to like, you know, accelerate the video. But basically, I talked about in that video the possibility of after Darkwood, I did a dedicated video on AFK Journey, mostly to make up for the money lost making Darkwood. And then after that, Mystical and a bunch of other people went wild, gifting loads and loads of subs. I mean, there was another guy as well called Junk Food, and he tried to, you know, also get in on the action. Thank you. Thank you again, Mystical, for the 20 gifted. Okay, we're in a bidding war. We're in a bidding war. Holy. 20 gifted is wild. Okay, Mystical. What? Mystical, what is your job? You have to tell me where you're getting this income from, because you've probably given more gifted than like anyone else here now. I actually need to know what your... I like how he keeps one-upping him. Like, some poor guy comes in, he's like, oh, 5 gifted. That's like a really nice gesture. And he's like, 20. I can't read your name. It's thank you, Mr. Look, for the 10. The art in that game is worth it, even if it's another gotcha. Or is it a gotcha game? Yeah, thank you to everyone for the gifted. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Oh, wait, did Mystical do another 20? Okay. This is... Okay. I'm actually starting to feel bad now. What is happening? What is happening? Oh my... Junk Food, thank you for the 50 gifted. Oh my god, guys! Thank you, Mystical, for the 50 gifted. Okay, you know what, bro? This is some like Kaisenat Ludwig streamathon stuff. What is this, man? Did I get like an infinite money glitch? He's gave another 50! He's gave another 50! He gave another 50 straight after giving another 50 when someone else gave another 50! This Mystical guy is from Turkey. His 50 memberships cost like 50 cents. Wait, is that true? Can we confirm this? Have I been scammed the whole time? Can we confirm this? Mods, can we confirm this? Have I just hyped up being scammed? The exchange rates? There's no way. No! It's over. Now, I thought this was insane, right? I was like, okay, you guys hate AFK Journey so much that the equivalent of subs you are gifting right now would basically make me around like $10,000 or something, which, keep in mind, is like 0.1% of what AFK Journey would be offering for a dedicated video. But still, I thought like, oh my god, that's like insane that I'm getting so many subs so quickly. I feel like I'm earning what 1% of XQC would make per stream. Now, obviously, there's 3 ways that I make income when I stream. You have the memberships that people buy or gift. You have Super Chat as well, which is basically YouTube's inbuilt message system. The more money you donate, the longer your message stays up for, which incentivizes people to basically give away more money. And there's a huge loophole with that, which I'll get into in just a second. But most importantly, which is basically my main source of income, is the text-to-speech system, which has nothing to do with YouTube, thank God. So basically, when I stream, you can like click on a link in the description or in the pinned comment. I always have it there. You can type in a funny text-to-speech message for $10, and you can choose a custom voice. This could be like, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow, Trump, Joe Biden. It could be like anything you you want. And it's a great system because you get to say something that you think is funny. It probably isn't. And then I laugh out loud, react to it on stream, acting like it's the most funny thing ever, so I can clip it for TikTok views. Now, the problem is with Super Chat, people quickly pointed out that when Mystical was donating in Super Chat and not gifting subs to get my attention, he was donating in Turkish lira, which basically meant all those memberships he was gifting were probably in the same currency as well. So if you convert Turkish lira back into pound sterling, you can see the inflation goes crazy. Now, I like a bit of inflation, believe me, but that is on a whole other level. Also, speaking of inflation, I want to give a shout out to Justin Wang, who uploaded a video covering inflation. I commented on that video after being sent it 50,000 times, well, and he replied to it saying it's like the bat signal. So to try and break this down in the most like Mr. Beast attention deficit way possible, I'm going to put some Subway Surfers gameplay over here just so you don't lose interest, because I'm going to be talking about economics for a second. Every country has their own economy, right? Some of them are doing really good, and then some of them are doing awful. For example, 10,000 Japanese yen in place Japan does not equal 10,000 pounds. Instead, it equals around 53 pounds or 67 USD. So that means the exchange rate of the Japanese yen is weaker than the pound sterling. And this is why we often do currency exchange rates. So, you know, the value overall stays pretty much consistent. So long story short, currency is different in different countries, right? If the economy is doing better, the value of that currency goes up. And then in other countries, it goes down. So like £1 sterling could be like 3 billion Vietnamese dong. Okay, I just looked at what £1 sterling is in Vietnamese dong. It's actually only 32,000 Vietnamese dong. So clearly their economy is recovering very well. Now, the problem here is when you gift memberships, buy memberships, or use Super Chat, it will adjust based to the country you are set in. For example, to join as a member in the UK, it's £4.99, basically £5. And then in America, it's $4.99, which is $5, which already doesn't make any sense because people in the UK are actually paying more for their membership as opposed to people in America, despite America apparently having a stronger economy than the UK, because $4.99 is £3.89. So already, if you're joining from America, you're basically getting like over a 20% discount. But then it gets worse. In other countries like Uganda, famous for the funny meme, Uganda Knuckles, to become a member there or to gift a membership, it costs 10,000 UGX, which equals about £2.10 or $2.68. Now, that's because Uganda's cost of living is different to the US and the UK. 10,000 UGX might actually be more closer to £4.99, you know, due to their currency being much weaker, the standards of living being much more lower, the average pay being much lower as well. It's basically a system that YouTube have set up so each country relative to their economy is still able to support a channel. You know, if you're a viewer from a country that has an incredibly weak economy, inflation is looking bigger than one of my commissions, you're still able to support the channel without having to put a down payment on your house. Now, this gets comedically bad when talking about countries like Argentina. Now, to get a membership from Argentina, it only costs 398 ARS, which is their currency. And this also heavily affects YouTube Premium. So, for example, I've talked about the benefits of that. I mean, I don't really know any of the benefits apart from not seeing ads anymore. But YouTube Premium in America is very expensive. It's around $14 a month. But then if you introduce a country like Argentina, which has one of the weakest economies in the world, it's only 389 ARS to subscribe to YouTube Premium. That is 32 pence. No pounds. That is £0, 32 pence. Or in comparison for Americans, 41 cents. So you're getting all the benefits, no drawbacks at all for something that is $14 a month for 41 cents. And this is where the problem is for YouTube, because you could basically just change the country that you're living in supposedly through a VPN. There's actually, I'm not joking, entire websites here instructing people on how to create new accounts and using a VPN, basically to change their subscription and save them a lot of money. The main countries people have been using is Argentina, Nigeria, India, Turkey, Ukraine, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brazil. It's also funny as well because these same websites are pushing you to use like sponsored VPNs like ExpressVPN and NordVPN, mostly because they get a fat commission when you use their link. Now, this revelation made me incredibly genuinely angry because I realized a bunch of poor people, or as I dub them from now on, the poors, were basically exploiting YouTube to get a bunch of stuff for free. So I advocated to catch all of them in a net and have them studied. I need to study poor people. I need to go into the streets. I need to capture a bunch of poor people with like a net. I need to put them in a glass cage and just study them, because they are some of the most ingenious people. They will do anything to avoid giving money. Like it's crazy. Now, during the stream, another person in chat who I mentioned earlier, Junk Food, he actually donated a TTS message. And like I said, when people gift a TTS message, that has to be in USD. There's no way you can cheat around that. You can donate from any country you want, but it will always convert to USD. So that's basically like a firewall to make sure that you're not like scamming to get a quick dono. And in his TTS message, he basically said that he had to stop gifting at 100 donos because YouTube had actually given him a daily cap of $500.
YouTube caps my USD gifting at 500 US per day. That's why I could only do 100 gifted total now.
Which again goes to show, if there is a ceiling of you only being able to give 500 away per day, that not all memberships have been gifted equally. So going back into the main scammer of this video, Mystical, the guy who ended up gifting hundreds and hundreds of members per stream, he actually responded in chat saying that he was from Georgia, not the state in America, but the actual country. Now, I have no real opinions on Georgia. The only thing I know about it growing up is it was the final mission in the original Splinter Cell game, and also because I'm definitely not racist, everything east of Italy, in my opinion, is a poor country. People are gonna actually think I'm being serious with that. Just keep it in. That's so funny. That's hilarious. So I gave Mystical an ultimatum. Explain to me how you have scammed me out of the equivalent of $10,000 and I won't ban you. Again, just to put in comparison, he was gifting like 50 subs multiple times a stream, which in my currency is £250 sterling. And then times that by 4, and he basically would have gave me £1,000 in theory. But due to using his own currency, he barely paid a fraction of that. For every 50 gifted that was meant to be £250, he was basically paying £20. I do want to say though, even though his apology video had no tears, the fact that he recreated Logan Paul's apology video, that deserves an award in of itself.
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. What we came across today in the stream was obviously unplanned. The reactions you saw on the table were raw. They were unfiltered. None of us knew how to react or how to feel. I should have never done those donations and gifted subs. There's a lot of things I should have done differently, but I didn't, and for that, I deeply apologize. Now, me sitting here in my $1 million mansion wearing a Tommy Hilfiger shit doesn't mean anything. I'm definitely guilty. Guilty of scamming my dear friend that I've enjoyed many, many years with, Pyrocynical, who actually ignored me 2 years ago on a major event I was planning for my friend. For that, let's call this vengeance.
Now, I'm not the only person who's had this issue. Legendary Drain Gang member Darkside Phil has also had very similar issues. And it's really funny because as out of touch as my video is, basically being a multi-millionaire crying about not making enough money, he's basically begging people from poorer countries to tip more.
Many of you were already going to buy a membership. What I would ask is that if you have a free membership from one of these trolls, if you could contribute in another way, that would be great. Notably, if you tipped me during the event, that would be amazing. That would be great because that would help out a lot.
This has even happened with really popular streamers like Ludwig. He actually streamed not too long ago, and there was someone in his chat that was just, you know, gifting loads and loads in the ARS currency, the Argentinian pesos. Now, to be fair for Ludwig, he's probably aware of this because his membership fee to join is incredibly cheap. He set it at around like $1. But the problem is with Super Chat is you can basically give away like 500 Argentinian pesos, and the system will think you've given away $500, no matter what the value of that currency is. So the way Super Chat works is the more money you give away, the darker your message becomes. I think it starts off at blue, going all the way to like a dark red, and it incentivizes you to give more money away because the more money you donate as a Super Chat, your message stays up longer. So basically, you had someone on Ludwig's stream donate 500 Argentinian pesos. The system thinks that's $500, but in reality, it's 53 cents. And again, why am I talking about this if I'm like a literal multimillionaire? Like, why should I even be crying about people like using ways to exploit the system? I just think personally it's unfair on other people that actually donate real money and their message doesn't even stay up anywhere near as longer. Now, obviously, as creators, we do have the ability to remove super chats, which is what I've done in the past, especially when I kind of realized that they're just flat out scams. This happens on a lot of people's streams. A good example is iShowSpeed. He'll get like so many red messages of people, you know, shilling their own channel, and they've basically paid like a penny to have their message stay up for the majority of the stream. Now, YouTube has claimed that it's aware of the problem with people bypassing premium subscriptions, but they haven't really talked about anything else, mostly because when you pay YouTube Premium, all that money goes to YouTube as opposed to, you know, Super Chat and members, which we get around 70% of that cut, with YouTube getting the rest of the 30%. Now, please keep in mind, I don't want to get it twisted. Do not think that if you're from like a poor country with massive inflation, you should have to pay the equivalent of people that get better pay in a better country. I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with you being given a discount for that. But obviously, the problem is there's always going to be people that exploit the system. Like I said, people paying basically nothing to have their Super Chat message displayed for the entire stream. Now, thankfully, with Super Chat, it does actually snitch on you and say what currency you've used. So when I'm streaming, I can be like, oh, that's $100. Thank you so much, man. Or I can go, oh, that's a poor. He's just gave 5 cents away, tricking the system into thinking that's $5,000. But obviously, the problem with gifting memberships is there's no way to verify what currency they used or what country they're even from. You'd basically just have to keep a tab open and see if the earnings went up by a little bit or they went up by a lot, which is something I'm going to have to do after every stream now. I'm basically going to have to do common deduction on people that gift a lot and whether they're actually gifting in a currency that has some money or no money. By the way, I do want to say, if you're from like a genuinely impoverished country and you're still gifting subs, I really do appreciate that. That's like one of the most generous things you can ever do. I'd prefer if you didn't do that and kept the money to yourself, but this is mainly just calling out people that will spam like, you know, 900 gifted subs in a single stream and they paid like $2 for it. It's so hard. It's so hard being a multi-millionaire. I mean, a good example here that I want to talk about because it's so comedically bad is like TikTok gifts. I'm sure you're fully aware of how bad the TikTok economy is, that basically you need to get like 20 gorillion views a month to even make like 10 cents. And on TikTok, you can watch mentally unhinged people live and you can gift items like, for example, roses, caps. It's all really just bizarre boomer stuff. But a good example is one gifted membership on YouTube for a single person is the equivalent of 28 roses. So if you gifted 50 subs to your favorite streamer, hopefully me, that would be the equivalent of 1,428 roses. So that just shows how like overinflated the TikTok economy is in general. Now, again, like I've said, this is obviously a system that YouTube have set in place to, you know, help people from lower income countries support their favorite creators and get their messages out there. But the problem is, like any system that is meant to help people, it can be exploited. So what's the moral of today's video? Despite all of this, I'm actually still happy that I'm on YouTube and not on Twitch.